Hello, everyone, and welcome to what is the hopefully first annual Booksie Awards. I'm your host, T, and I have compiled some different award categories to really just highlight and wrap up this year of books in a nice little bow for everyone. So, without further ado, let's just get into it. So I think the best way to start off our awards show today would be to start with our welcome back category. Now this is for authors that I personally grew up with or saw a lot of, who it's kind of like when someone gets typecast. You remember them for this one series, but then when you see them in something else, you're all like, oh, they do other things too. That sounded really mean, but I didn't mean it necessarily like that. So in this category, I have two authors who I have seen pop up this year. So I have seen Veronica Roth pop up. She has released some other books since Divergent. Obviously, that's her most notable. This year, she has released a book called Poster Girl, which I think was released fairly recently. And then our other nominee for this round is Marissa Meyer. For those that don't know, Marissa Meyer is the author who wrote the Lunar Chronicles, which is what she is most well known for.
Her newest book I've been seeing this year being Cursed.
And I will give the honor of announcing the winner to Editing Me. So take it away.
And the winner is Veronica Roth.
All right, let's give a round of applause for our winner. Congratulations. Your trophy is in video format only, unfortunately. So if you want to just grab a screen grab. I doubt you're watching though, but congrats. For our next category, we're going with a similar kind of theme. A book that just won't die. I have books that have been released 3 or more years ago that just remain popular. I just see them popping up everywhere still. Just can't get rid of them. So our nominees for this round are the Red Queen series by Victoria Aveyard. Maybe it's just because I read them recently that they just keep getting recommended to me, but I see this series everywhere still. I can't seem to escape it. And then we also have Where the Crawdads Sing. That was released a few years ago. I'm not sure if it's maybe because the movie came out this year, but I've seen a lot about it. So put them up for the nominee. And then next I have The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Now this book, I thought this was a newer book, honestly. By the way, I've seen so much about this, but it's like, it was released like 3-4 years ago. Like, it's been a minute and it is still going so strong. So definitely putting this one up for nominee. And then finally, I have After. This book has been around since, Wattpad was big. And it just won't die. So, maybe it's the After movies, kind of like with Where the Crawdads Sing, that just make this book so prominent still. But definitely just won't die. And again, I want to give the honor of announcing the winner to Editing Me, so I will let her take it away.
And the winner is 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo.
All right, another round of applause for our winner. You really earned it. Congratulations, that is impressive. Keep up the good work. Now, why don't some of these books die? It's almost like there's this platform that's come up recently that's really revived and brought some of these older books back to our attention, and they just won't go away because of it. Wait, what was that? Oh, Booktok. Yes, that sounds about right. So our next category is dedicated to Booktok's darling, the book that Booktok just won't shut up about. I spent hours scrolling through Booktok, looking at book recommendations and adding a point to each book I saw. If there was another video that came up that said it wasn't as good as it was hyped, I'd take a point off. It was a long process, but we did end up with some standouts. So our nominees for this round are Little Life, Verity, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Welcome back. Look at you, up for 2 nominees. Look at you go. And then our last nominee is It Ends With Us. Now, like I said, our winner was calculated with very precise tabulation. And I, again, must pass the honor of announcing the winner onto editing me. So take it away.
And the winner is It Ends With Us.
Congratulations. It is honestly so surprising that this book won, because I cannot tell you how many videos I saw recommending it, but also how many videos I saw saying that it wasn't good at all. So the fact that it still came out on top with all that adding and subtracting, honestly impressive. I would say keep it up, but we all know the second book is out now, because now that's taking over. So keep doing what you're doing, I guess. You're making bank either way, so. There are some authors, though, that are quite the opposite of Booktok's darling. We see these authors get trashed on the regular. Maybe it's because they did something to end up in hot water, but we will focus specifically on this year, 2022, who the girlies were mad at and who will receive this prestigious award. So we have 3 nominees for this round. Our first nominee for this round is Cassandra Clare. Now, I feel like this is one that just never goes away. And maybe it's because I like Cassandra Clare's books and my friends send me everything they see about it. So, you know, it just haunts me every waking moment. But this is just the fire that just keeps on going. And the girlies just will never not be mad at Cassandra Clare, it seems like. Our next nominee is Alex Astor. She got herself in some hot water this year with her book Light Lark. Essentially, she advertised it as like her debut novel when it really wasn't, and kind of acted like she came from these small roots and rags to riches type thing, when really she had a lot of help along the way and just kind of dishonest in her portrayal, which made the girlies very mad. And then finally, our last nominee is kind of shocking. It is Miss Colleen Hoover. She is, unsurprisingly, very problematic, as it would turn out. And I saw, while I was scrolling through hours of Booktok, quite a few videos talking about her problematic behavior. So there are definitely some girlies mad at her, earning her this nomination.
Editing me here, I just wanted to come out and say that more information has come to light to me about Colleen Hoover and her situation with her son, and I just want to publicly denounce that and just say that is absolutely disgusting. And for that reason, we're just going to cut right to the trophy and winner section out of respect for the victim and leave it at that, because I feel like she should not get any more attention from this than she already has, aside from telling her how disgusting her actions have been in this scenario.
And now we go from the fun categories to the more meat and potatoes. Again, we take our job very seriously. We tabulate these results very carefully. So we're going to the best of for specific genres. And for this, what we did is we took a book that was in the top bestsellers of said places on Amazon or Goodreads for their Best Choice Awards, and we tabulated between Goodreads, Storygraph, and Amazon reviews the average rating for it and who came out on top. Now, I did narrow this down a little bit to only books that I had personally heard of, so it is slightly skewed, slightly biased, but for the most part, these are books that I've heard of that have really good reviews. I think another note that is important to add is I left out any series books, like book 2, book 3, or anything like that, just because I feel like those are typically more skewed, especially if it's a longer series. Usually the people that are gonna keep reading those are really only the people that like the series to begin with, so naturally gravitating towards higher ratings. I also stuck with genres that I am more familiar with, of course, or that I hear things about quite frequently. So of course I have to start this off with the best fantasy novel of 2022. We had quite a few nominees for this, actually. Unsurprisingly, I'm fairly well versed, like I said. So our nominees for this round are Daughter of the Moon Goddess, and then we also have Fairy Tale by Sir Stephen King. I have not stopped hearing and seeing this book literally everywhere. And then we have Thistlefoot. We have Babel, another book that seems to haunt me everywhere I go. We also have Electra. And then finally, our last nominee for this category is The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. And since I'm so nice, I will give the honor of announcing the winner to one of my favorite genres, to future me. So go ahead, take it away. I wonder who it'll be.
And the best fantasy novel of 2022 is Babel.
Congratulations. Bravo. Bravo. For our next genre category, we have the best literary / contemporary novel of 2022. Now these genres seem to kind of mesh together, which is why they've been thrown into the same category together, but we have a few nominees in this field. So we have, for nominee, Honor, we have Nightcrawling, we have Other Birds, and we have Our Missing Hearts. And then finally, we have Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. I must give the honor to future me.
The best literary contemporary novel is Honor.
I'm very, very happy to have you join us. Turns out those little free libraries do have some gems, huh? Look at that! Another genre that I absolutely love, but just don't really talk much a lot about, is historical fiction. So for our best historical fiction novel of 2022, here are the nominees. We have Lessons in Chemistry, Take My Hand, The Last Rose of Shanghai, Violetta, and Shrines of Gaiety. And the winner is... What was that? I need you to speak up. Here, I'll bring it over to her. And the best historical fiction novel of 2022 is Take My Hand. Congratulations. You really earned it. Keep up the good work. And I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the best memoir / biography of 2022. These books, I feel like I hear all about them. I watch a lot of people that like them. I have a friend who really likes them. They're just everywhere. I can't really escape them. So I feel like we need to talk about it. For this, we have, for our nominees, Mean Baby, I'm Glad My Mom Died, We Were Dreamers, Madly, Deeply, The Diaries of Alan Rickman, Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Things, and Finding Me. And I wonder who the winner will be. Let's find out.
The best memoir / biography of 2022 is I'm Glad My Mom Died.
Congratulations. You really earned it. If you want your trophy, I will print out a photo and send it to you in the mail. Here on this channel, we love supporting smaller, newer things, local businesses, smaller authors. So, of course, I have to talk about the best debut novel of 2022. Again, this is limited to the stories that I've heard of, so it is slightly skewed, but the overall winner is based on actual tabulation of who had the highest rating among the two on average. So for this, our nominees are Lessons in Chemistry, which I didn't even realize was a debut novel. Most of these I didn't even realize were debut novels, so I am happy to have learned something from this. And then we have Daughter of the Moon Goddess, The Maid, The Violin Conspiracy, Cleopatra and Frankenstein, Thistlefoot, and finally, our last nominee is Night Crawling. I think this is one of our largest categories, aside from the nonfiction, and I am excited to see with all these lovely candidates who the winner will be. So take it away.
And the best debut novel of 2022 is Lessons in Chemistry.
Congratulations. I think this is the only book on here that I've actually read, and yes, just absolutely yes, this book is beautiful, wonderful debut. Congratulations, you really earned it. And we are coming to the last big three. So for our first big award, we have the best fiction novel of 2022. This will include the winners from previous rounds as the nominees. So we have Babel, Honor, Take My Hand, and Lessons in Chemistry as our nominees for this final round. And among these nominees, the winner is...
The best fiction novel of 2022 is Take My Hand.
Our second to last award will go to the best book that I acquired in 2022. This book doesn't have to be released this year. It just has to be a book that I got in physical form this year. So nominees for this, let me pile them up for you real quick. So 1 second. We got our poetry books. So Christian poetry that I accidentally got, and a Robert Frost poetry book. We have our classics, Tender is the Night, Catcher in the Rye, and The Pig Man. We have Z, a novel of Zelda Fitzgerald. We have some Greek mythology related books with Pandora's Box and Electric Idol thrown into the mix as well. We have some young adult. We have The Lost Gate. We have The Gilded Ones, which I ruined the cover of. And then we have Scythe. We have the beautiful The House in the Cerulean Sea. We're a little late on this train, but it's here. It's a contender. And then finally we have some mixed match books here. We have Honor. We have The Guest List. And we have Her Body and Other Parties. And we also have Final Girl Support Group. So, that being said, I do want to remind everyone, these books, I haven't read them all, so it is based off ratings, completely unbiased, just who had the highest average rating between Goodreads, Storygraph, and Amazon reviews. So without further ado, who is our winner for the best book that I acquired in 2022?
The best book I got in 2022 is The House in the Cerulean Sea.
Look at you! Congratulations! You definitely earned it, as this being a book that I have also read. You are You're beautiful, you are kind, and you so deserved it. And we are nearing the end. Our final award, I know, it's hard parting ways, but our final award will be an unbiased best book I read in 2022. So this just has to be a book I read. Again, this is based on the average rating between 3 different platforms. And if you want to know the books I read this month, I will direct you to my monthly wrap-ups for this year, just to save us some time. So after a lot of research, who is our winner for the best book that I read, ratings-wise, in 2022? The unbiased winner of best book I read is The House in the Cerulean Sea. Who would have known you would win big? This wasn't even your year to shine, yet here you are. I see why so many people picked this book as their best. You just took the cake. You just couldn't help it. A little showstopper right here. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this first award show. This has been the Booksies Award Show with me, your host T. If you like this video, make sure you give it a like. Comment down below what you thought and who you would have nominated for the specific categories here. Please don't have my head for any of the winners. I tried to make it as unbiased, but slightly skewed to at least what I know as possible. And if you want to see more of my videos and see my final end of the year wrap-up video, hit the subscriber button and hit the bell so you stay tuned so you know when I upload. Alright guys, I will see you next time. As always, go support your local bookstore. Alright,